on something very important in mathematics, a very, very simple subject. So we're talking about quadratic equations. Now, when we talk about quadratic equations, if you look at that, we have two words. We have quadratic and we have equations. Now, what is quadratic equations? We first of all have to analyze the two words. We have the quadratic, we have what equation. Now, first of all, start with quadratic. What is quadratic? Quadratic is any expression that has what? The highest power of what? 2. So, for example, we have something like this, b squared. Now, when we say b squared is what? A quadratic expression. Why? Because it has what? Raised to power 2. Now, we have x squared. X squared is what? A quadratic expression because it has what? Raised to power 2. So a quadratic equation has the highest power of what? 2. Now, when we now talk about equation, what is equation? Equation is any mathematical expression that has the sign equal to. So by the time we bring this together, we are saying that what? Quadratic equation is what? An equation of degree 2 of the power what? 2. For example, we have something this way, x squared plus what? 5x plus 6 equals to 0. Now, if you look at this expression, now this is what? A quadratic equation. Why? Because we have what? X squared, the square, which is what? The quadratic function, and we have what? Equal to, which is what? An equation. Now, look at this also. X plus 5x equals to 0. Now, this is also what? A quadratic equation. Why? Because we have what? The x squared and we have what? The equal to sign. Now, you may say that this one has what? 3 numbers. We have x squared, we have 5x, we have 6, but this one just have 2. You may say, oh, what's the difference? But because of this, so irrespective of the numbers, as far as this is present in this expression, it makes it what? Quadratic. And as far as the equal to sign is present, it makes it what? An equation. Now, we have something this way. This is also what? A quadratic what? Equation. So all these are what? Quadratic equation because of the what? They have what? The raised to power 2 and they have what? The equal to sign. Now, how can we solve what? A quadratic equation? There are various ways of solving quadratic equations. The first one is what? The analytical method. And we have the next one, which is what? The graphical method. Now, for the analytical method, when we talk about analytical method, what happens is that we are making use of what? Analysis to derive the values of our what? Variable. Now, the first one is what? Factorization method. Now, the next one is what? Formula method, which some people call the almighty formula. While the last one is what? Completing the square method. Now, when we talk about the graphical method, what happens is that we're making use of our graph to what? Derive the values of what? The variable. Okay, now let's go. Factorization method. Now, when we talk about factorization method, let us understand the word factorization. Factorization is gotten from the root word factor. So when we talk about factorization method, what happens is that we are making use of the factors to solve this word quadratic equation. Let's work an example. We have, for example, we have what? X squared plus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. And we are asked to solve this question by what? Factorization method. So the first thing we are going to do is that we multiply the quadratic element with the what? Constant element. So by associating, we are going to have x squared times 6. Now x squared times 6 is going to give us what? 6x squared. Now the next thing we are going to do, since we are making use of the factorization method, we ask ourselves, what are the factors of what? 6x squared. So the factors are those two numbers, those two things that will multiply themselves to give us what? 6x squared. Now, what are the factors of 6? The factors of 6 are 1 and what? 1 and 6, 2 and what? 3. What are the factors of x squared? The factors of x squared are x, 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 x. So 1x is the same thing as what? X. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to look at it. Which of this combination is going to give us the linear component? Now if you ask, so we have 2x and what? 3x. So these 2x and 3x are the best factors that can replace what? 5x. So we go this way, x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6, giving us what? 0. So what we'll do is that we'll now what? Factorize them, like grouping them. So these two goes together, these two goes together. So now if you bring these two together, what can you find in this place that is also here? You can find your x. So if you remove x from x squared, it will remain what? X. You remove x from 3x, it will be 3. So plus, what can you find here that is here? 2x plus what? 3 equals to 0. Now by the time you get to this place, you'll discover that the expression inside the bracket of this is the same as the expression inside the bracket of this. So once we have this, so we now have it this way, x plus 2 and what? X plus 3 equals to 0. Now at this stage, what are we going to do next? Now we have, look at what we have here. We have two brackets multiplying themselves to give us 0. Now it's just like saying a times b is equals to 0. Now for a to multiply itself with b to give us 0, it means that this can only be possible where either a is 0 or what? B is 0, because for you to multiply two numbers to get 0, it means that one of them must actually be what? 0. Okay, so the same thing for this. For these two to multiply themselves to give us 0, it means that it's either x plus 2 is 0 or what? X plus 3 is 0. So if that is the case, we now make our x a subject of formula. So it's now the what? X is equals to what? Minus 2 or what? X is equals to what? Minus 3. So this is our what? Answer. So x is equals to minus 2 or what? X is equals to what? Minus 3. Okay, let's get another question by factorization method. Now let's say we have something like this. 21v is equals to 8v squared minus 9. Now the first thing we are going to do is that we have to arrange this. Now arranging this, we decide to take this to the other side. 8v squared minus 21v minus 9 is equals to 0. Now by the time we go this way, so what is the next thing to do? We multiply this with this. So it's that to say 8v squared times minus 9. Now 8v squared times minus 9 is going to give us minus 72v squared. Now once we have minus 72v squared, so we are going to ask ourselves, what are the factors of what? Minus 72v squared. So the first thing to do is, what are the factors of what? 72. The factors of 72 are 1 and what? 72. We have the next one, 2 and what? 36. We have the next one, 3 and 3 here is what? 2. Made of what? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 3 and what? 24. We have the next one, let's see, 4 and 4 is 72, that is 1 remainder this. So this is 8. So 1 and 18. So let's stop here. Now if you look at this, what are the factors of b squared? b, 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 b. Now the next one is what? Factors of minus. The factors of minus is either what? Minus times plus or what? Plus times minus. Now we're going to look at this. Which of the combination of this sign is going to give us what? Minus 21v. Now if you look at this, 3v and what? 24v, they are closer to what? Minus 21v. So it's just by placing the signs right. So we have minus 21. So if we put our minus here and put our plus here, adding these together will give us what? Minus 21v. So what it means is that we are going to make use of what 3v and minus 21v to replace what our minus 21. So what we just do is this, we just say that 8v squared minus 24v plus 8v minus 9 is equals to 0. Now, by grouping, so we'll group these two together, group these two together. If you look at this very well, when you say 8v squared, what is 8? So, what is common in 8v squared and what 24v? You can find what 8, you can find v. So if we remove 8v from 8v squared, it remains what v minus, remove this from this, we are going to get what 3. So plus, what is common here is 3, so we're going to get 3 minus 3 is equals to 0. So as I said earlier on, this bracket and this bracket should be the same to show that we are correct. So we'll bring these two together, 8v plus 3, v minus 3 equals to 0. So as we said earlier on, if we have something like this, for both of them to multiply themselves to give us what? 0, it means that one of them is actually what? 0. So it's either 8v plus 3 is 0 or v minus 3 is 0. So it's going to be 8v is equals to minus 3 or v is equals to 3. So divide both sides by 8. So this is what v is what? Minus 3 over 8 or what? V is equals to 3. This is very what? Simple. So thank you very much.